Hi there. I'm Miriam Siegel, in case you don't know thee, and I'm from the Center for Mastery and Excellence, or CentrumX. I thought I would share a bit of my mindful musings with you today. I was reflecting on the expression, no one can hurt you without your permission. Or some people say, no one can hurt you without your consent. It's a quote from Mahatma Ghandi. And it doesn't always sit well with me. We also see, at least I also see on social media, the expression hurt people hurt people. And those two things for me seem to be in contradiction to each other. So I thought I would just muse a bit about those. Fairly recently, I hung around with a person who seemed to be dead set on destruction. And I would observe his seemingly intentional destroying other people, wanting to damage other people, and simultaneously smiling. And I found that to be very interesting, that he appeared at least to enjoy inflicting damage on other people. And I'm not the kind of person who will just automatically assume something or, generally speaking, I like to check. So I did. I checked to see if that was his intention, and he confirmed that it was, and he confirmed that he was enjoying it. So some people do have that inclination, at least, to want to inflict some sort of pain, and it gives them some sort of pleasure in some way, perhaps because they themselves feel hurt. So then that adage, hurt people, may be, in a sense, true. But then there's the idea of no one can hurt you without your permission or consent. So strictly speaking, that is also true, because you are basically not an identity. There is the beingness of you, or if you've ever watched The Presence Posse, you'll have heard Fred Blum talk about the true self. So there's this essence of being that doesn't get hurt, that does not get destroyed, that is a constant experience of the world and being in the world. However, we can feel hurt. Our identity can be hurt, is the way I may put it. And I'm going to compare it to a physical injury, like if I've sprained my ankle so that I can't walk, and I have pain in my ankle, and somebody hits my ankle, it probably will hurt. And depending on how hard they hit, they can certainly perhaps damage my ankle even more than it already is. Or if my bone is broken, something can happen, or someone can do something where the bone can be rebroken. So the idea of no one can hurt you without your permission becomes a point of degree, I would say. So if my injury has healed and has well healed, then someone might hit me, or I may fall and hit what was previously injured, and it may not bother me at all. Nothing may happen. It may not even hurt. Whereas if it's not healed, it can hurt a lot. So with the idea that some people, for whatever reason, do intend to hurt, if you have, let's call it a weak spot, some injury of your own, a psychic injury, psychological injury that has not healed, that has not been addressed, or has not been addressed to the degree that it has healed, then they may be able to hurt you, or their actions may feel hurtful because you don't have the strength or the distance enough. What do I mean by distance? Sometimes we say, you hurt my feelings. And that would imply that I don't have the ability to observe your actions without letting them influence me in some way. So the trick is to train to get some distance, to be able to observe, to be able to notice without allowing another person's actions, perhaps hurtful intention, to affect you. And I always like to come back to Pema Chodron's expression, you are the sky, everything else, it's just the weather. So storms come and go, but the sky is always a constant. So that's you, your true self, always a constant. And then there's the weather. So it's allowing yourself, training yourself to notice without taking it on, without making it true, without believing it, without bringing it into your body and your psyche and allowing it to hurt you. So you have the opportunity to train this distance. And just also know that if you're not there yet, you're not there yet. And sometimes then some things people say or do may feel hurtful. They may have hurt you, to put it that way. It's not your fault. And it can seem like a lot when someone says no one can hurt you without your permission. It seems like it's all your responsibility. The responsibility is, or can be considered to be, looking at yourself and how you take things on, where your weak spots are, and then, like going to the gym, working on those muscles to strengthen them so that you are not fazed by other people's actions and reactions. And even when you are, just to understand that, well, that's what I was able to do. That's how I was able to be in the moment. And then just keep practicing and come back to noticing and come back to noticing. And after a while, you'll notice that it's kind of like people passing gas. It might smell a little bit uncomfortable for a few seconds and it just dissipates. It doesn't affect you. You notice. Oh, I hope you got something out of my reflections, and please share your comments and your thoughts with me about your take on what I've said, and you are welcome to disagree, and I would love to learn something from you. And if you would like to work with me, you can contact me at the Center for Mastery and Excellence, centromex.com, and we can have a chat.